What is going on? What is going on? It's your boy Julian Stoutt, licensed personal trainer, licensed PE teacher, world record powerlifter here to take the fear out of fitness. We are about to take off and class is in session. Man, I have to say I do a pretty good job when I cut my own hair. You know what I mean? Ooh, that's pretty good. Not bad. Not bad. Anyway. Well, today is what? March 25th, 2026. And I am on spring break, off from teaching. I've been off for the last, that'd be Saturday, Sunday. So for the last 5 days, I've been off. Feel good. I've been rested. I actually started taking my NMN as of last night. And I have to say, all things considered, I'm still awake. I'm still conscious. Usually around this time, especially if I got up early, usually I'm pretty worn out by now. I'm usually tired. I've already had to take a nap. And I got news for you, just so you know. I got up, I made breakfast, went to the gym, came home, cut my hair, got ready for the show, and here I am, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. I am not even remotely tired. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I'm almost scared of this stuff because, not in a negative way, but because in my youth, I don't sleep, which affects my ability to recover from workouts, which means I'm not at my best, which means I need to sleep, even when I feel I have the energy. But I will further, every week, I will update you on what I'm experiencing, what I'm feeling, how good or how, I wouldn't say bad. I don't think bad is going to be a feeling that I'm going to feel, but how good I feel, what are the side effects of if I miss a day or something like that, or if I forgot to take it, did I lose anything in terms of gain? I also take my vitamins. Also, like I said, I've been eating more. And when I say eating more, I'm not saying eating like ridiculously more, like I'm shoveling food down my throat, but I have been eating more. And I have to say, I like the results so far. You know, my leg workout was a little bit on the challenging side. I ran sleds, and I have to say it was fun. It was challenging, you know, running approximately about 100 to 200 feet with about 200 pounds attached to my hips and just driving my legs until I got to the other side and back, and then reversing it when it was time to backpedal. So I'm building strength in my legs. I did a little bit of a chest and back workout. I'm taking it easy because you see the title in the thumbnail, which is the return. I was forced to stop training. Here's what happened. So if you haven't been paying attention to many of my shows, I had tennis elbow. And in that tennis elbow, initially, I was stubborn. I wasn't even thinking of tennis elbow. I was thinking more of like biceps tendonitis. But in my infinite wisdom in going to go see a doctor, after a while, I went to see the doctor, and the doctor told me, stop doing what you're doing. And that was about 2.5 months ago. But I really had already stopped doing what I was doing about 2 weeks earlier. I hadn't boxed in 3 months. I haven't done anything totally strenuous in almost 3 months. And I have to say, I still feel some mild tension in my elbows, but it's nowhere near as bad as it was. I'm not going to overdo it. I am going to take my time with this. I did bicep curls on Monday, and that was on a preacher curl, which does stress those muscles that that are tender at the moment. But also icing, also taking ibuprofen or naproxen will be in order. I normally don't take that stuff. I just don't like taking pills unless it is of a natural nature or a nature that is beneficial to my body. that is not going to eat away at my stomach lining and all that other stuff, right? So with that being said, I definitely feel weak. My strengths gains are gone. All of the strength that I've amassed over the last God knows how many months, years, it's gone. I was struggling to bench press 115 pounds 20 times. And it's humbling. And when I say it's humbling, it is not merely humbling simply because I'm significantly weaker. My neuromuscular facilitation is diminished greatly. Now, as you can see, I am not, diminutive in muscle structure, right? I still have muscle, not nearly as much as I had 3 months ago, even 4 or 5 months ago. But the good news is I've lost some weight. My body fat percentage is significantly lower. But like I said, my muscle density and my neuromuscular facilitation has in fact is totally gone. It's going to take me at least 6 weeks to get some semblance of my strength back, especially if I continue to be consistent with this training, which I intend to, even if I have to go early in the morning or late in the evening. I am committed to doing so. Boxing will also be happening, and I will be back to box next week. How much boxing? I'm probably sure my stamina is diminished greatly. I can take some things, but I'm pretty sure a lot of the training that I had gotten accustomed to doing is very much out the window. It's like I'm starting over all over again with a little bit more information than I did coming into it, right? The ultimate in what I'm doing is to build my body back one step at a time. So, how does one build their body one step at a time after injury? Well, the first step is go light. If you don't go light, you're asking for it. You're asking for a severe injury, and you're literally, instead of you being patient and building your strength up over 6 weeks, you're going to be out for months, and then you're going to have to still build your strength up over several months. And the setback that you think you're fighting is going to be far more arduous if you do not heed to these things. Slow and controlled movements. You don't need to be explosive. It doesn't need to be heavy. And when I say it doesn't need to be heavy, heavy is relative. So for somebody that bench presses 405 pounds, that's heavy for them, right? Whereas a guy like me, heavy used to be 245, 260. Yeah, somewhere around there, 250, 260. In the prime of everything, I was benching 280, right? So, but in relativity to now, like I told you before, I was struggling to bench press 135. So guess what? 95 pounds it is. Take my time, do my reps, feel the burn a little bit. My arms are a little bit tight. I can feel the soreness in my triceps. I can feel the tension in my biceps, but it's not painful. It's not excruciating. I'm also improving on my nutrition in that regards. I'm adding more protein to my diet to help my body heal from this structural injury. For those of y'all who don't know what tennis elbow is, it is lateral epicondyle tendonitis. So if you look at your arm, let me move this out the way a little bit. But if you look at your arm, these are your condyles right here, and attached to those are your forearm muscles. Is the extensor portions of your forearm muscles, and then the flexor muscles in your wrist actually attach on the inside here, right? So gripping, it's not really that gripping hurts. It's actually opening with grip hurts, right? And it doesn't hurt right now, but curls, certain types of curls hurt. And as a result, I have to be very, very careful about how hard I go, how intense, and how long I go. I cannot go for more than 1 minute and 30 seconds because if I do, I'm aggravating the injury further. And if I aggravate this injury further, I'm going to be out longer. Okay. And that is not necessarily what it is that I want to do. So I need to adhere to the structure of the program that not only that I set forth, but the protocol for adapting to injuries protocol for anybody with tennis elbow. You cannot sit here and try to, ego lift. Ego lifting is completely out the window. And even me, I was ego lifting. When I say ego lifting is anytime you are actually lifting for show, right? You're lifting to challenge your body to its the extent of its capabilities, and that to me is ego lifting, period. Even whether you can do it or you can't, it's still ego lifting, right? I have to walk away from ego lifting altogether, or else you're going to see me in a very compromised position, and it's not going to be fun, and I'm not trying to go through another surgery in my lifetime. One was enough, and I don't need to go and put myself in a position where I get another one. Now, the next step is to rest appropriately. Do not think that, I haven't done a bicep curl again since Monday, even though I went in on Monday, did bicep curls. I didn't go in on Tuesday. I went in today, and I did my bench press and my back routine. Tomorrow, I'm not lifting with my biceps. I'm going to do shoulder presses. I'm going to work on my shoulders, and that weight is still going to be relatively light. It's going to be slow and controlled. I got to be careful because my wrist is still a little bit sensitive because I've been working on my wrist as well, to gain more mobility back into it and more wrist flexion and and wrist extension and more wrist flexion. The more wrist flexion I get, the better I think I'll be. But I need to have it where it's not compressing on itself as much as it has been lately and getting irritated in the process. As a matter of fact, I'm probably going to look to see if I can get some sort of numbing in the wrist area, so that way anytime I do apply pressure on it, it is not painful, but still good enough that I'm still sensitive to what's happening around my wrist. Muscles aren't being dulled to the point where I can't feel anything in my hands. All right. But slow and controlled, positive routine. I'm working on my legs harder than I'm working on my upper body because, again, your arms are attached to your upper body. There's no point in ego lifting with your upper body when you're trying to recover your strength. Over the next 6 weeks, which is going to be pretty much close to when school ends, it'll be the week before finals. And I should see not only physical changes, but I should be feeling some performance changes by then as well. I'm committed to that. Make no mistake about it. I'm excited about what's coming. In that process, what I'm going to also suggest that you do is pay attention to your body in the sense of nutrition, energy, stretching, flexibility. Anytime you go through an injury, whether it be a chronic overuse injury or an acute immediate injury, you need to find yourself icing regularly. You need to ice, compression, elevation if possible, just elevate it and let it be what it is. Like I said, train smart. Intensity is not necessary at this stage of the game. Now, in 6 to 8 weeks, then I'm probably going to turn it up a little bit maybe on cardiovascular wise, I could turn it up now. Well, not turn it up, but go as hard as my body will allow me to. But from a muscular endurance standpoint, from an impact standpoint, from a pain tolerance standpoint, from a power standpoint, I need to chill out. All right. So, and you should too when you're going through these situations where you end up, what's the word I'm looking for? When you end up in a chronic injury situation, when you're in a chronic injury situation, you should not be seeking to optimize your performance at this point in time. It's not necessary, it's not needed, and as a matter of fact, at that point in time, you're probably doing more harm than you are doing good. All right. So again, first thing is lift light. Second thing is no ego lift. Number 3 should be no making sure that you are utilizing the recovery process as best as you can. If you have no ability to create a recovery, what's the word I'm looking for? Starts with an M. Ma brain died. But anyway, starts with an M. I'll figure it out in a second. Modality. There it goes. And if you cannot figure out what modality, you should have ice. You should have some sort of ice in your house, frozen water. Put it in a towel. Rest it on the body parts that needs the love. Rest, ice, compression, elevation, if possible. Right. So after this show is over, guess what I'm doing? I'm gonna be chilling next to the missus because she's home, and I'm going to further ice and be on my phone and read and catch up on things and make sure that I am at performance level tomorrow morning when it's time for me to get up out of here and do my thing, right? So shout out to my doctor. Well, she's not actually my doctor. She was my urgent care doctor. Shout out to her because I was racking my brain and trying to figure out what the real issue was. And when you're in an injured state, you're not very strong in your evaluation process because it's happening to you and you cannot be as objective as one could be when you are experiencing what you're experiencing, right? The other thing that I did is always inquire. Why did you come up to this? Why did you end up at this conclusion? I wasn't questioning the doctor's knowledge as in her intelligence, because I think that is highly disrespectful for anybody to do, to question their intelligence, unless in fact they have displayed a lack of intelligence, like a doctor that I will mention. I won't mention their name, but they in fact told me that my wrist doesn't dislocate. If you know anything about orthopedic injuries, you know every bone in the body can dislocate except for the ones in your skull without fracturing, that is, right? So you can dislocate the bones in your ear, okay? If you really want to be technical. So with that being said, I wasn't questioning her intelligence. I was trying to see where her logic is coming from and why she came to the conclusion that she came to. And she just said, I just did the battery of tests. I did some tests on you and I seen that you were really reacting to elbow flexion. Elbow flexion is a part of bicipital tendonitis, but you were experiencing it not only in wrist supination, but in wrist pronation as well, which suggests that you in fact have tendonitis of the elbow, which means you need to relax. So like I said, it wasn't until maybe about 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, that I stopped feeling excruciating pain lifting my work bag. The bag that I take to work every day, I couldn't even pick that up and put it down. And I assure you that that thing can't weigh more than 15 pounds. It can't. For me, I've been slowly leaking videos of me working out. doing certain things like boxing, shadow boxing, doing footwork drills, movement drills, sledding backwards and forwards. I will begin to eventually incorporate one-legged squats. Everything will be single leg because I want to be strong in both sides, not just one side. And to improve on that strength, singular limb training is far superior than double arm training. So, or double limb training. So if I was to train with both of my arms, one arm is doing more work than the other. Okay. Ooh, okay, that yawn just starting to kick in. But this is why it's important to look at the intensity that you train with, the rigorousness of your recovery. Your recovery should be just as intense as your training. If you are not recovering as intense as your training, then you need to slow down. You don't need to go ham, because going ham every single time does nothing but hurt the body. So next week when I train again, I cannot put myself in the position where I'm merely going hard. Even what I did this week, I can't do next week. I got to lighten it up a little bit to recover better, and then reinsert myself back into the training the following week. I shouldn't have to, drive it home day in and day out, like as if my life depended on it, because I've got nothing but time to build my body back. And if I am as patient as I can be, then I'll be back to full strength in no time. But again, I have to be careful, because if I'm not, it is what it is. And I strongly insist that you do. So if you are on the show right now, give me a shout in the chat, in the live chat. I appreciate you for watching. I really do enjoy having communication with you guys for whatever it is that you want to discuss. At this point in time, I'm more than happy to answer any questions about not only my training for my recovery, but also what you can do in these regards, or any other questions that you may or may not have at this time. Also, I have a question for you as a group out there. Put a comment in the chat, whether it be right now or later when you watch this. But do me a favor, I want to know, would you like to talk to me directly? So if I were to, like, say, put up a phone number that you guys could call, that maybe I'll answer you on the show, and literally, have a conversation with you, and we could, get you from wherever you are to the next level, whether it be top tier to the top tier, or whether you're at the bottom of the barrel to the middle of the barrel, whatever that situation is, it would be cool. Would it be cool if I were to actually talk to you as I am, talking on the show right now? And I am going to give you guys an opportunity to find the live chat. So if you guys don't know how to reach the live chat, go ahead and hit the comment section. And when you hit the comment section, this is where you'll be able to type in what it is that you want to say. If you're on your mobile device, if you're on your computer, you should easily be able to just click on the comments and start chatting with me right now. But do you think it would be a good idea to give you a line to have a conversation with me about things within the fitness industry, or anything that I've put out in previous shows? If you want to talk to me about those things, I'm more than happy to actually discuss those things with you. All right. So I'm going to pause for a minute and just let it ride, let it breathe. And hopefully you guys will give me some comments on whether or not you feel about anything that I've described thus far. So I'm going to give you about 1 or 2 minutes, just a breathing room. Give me a little bit of a moment. As a matter of fact, I'll be right back because I'm going to turn around and pull out a product, and they don't need my endorsement, but I'm going to tell you why I'm endorsing them full on. I'll be right back. Give me a second. All right, I am back. So this here is my ice shaker. This is the ice shaker bottle. You can use it for a multitude of things, to be honest with you. I use it for my protein shakes. You could actually mix cocktails with this if you wanted to. You could, mix up any drink that has powder in it. You could put Gatorade in here. You can make protein shakes in here. And that's what I specifically use mine for, is that, and I have to say, this thing is well built. This is actually made by the Gronkowskis. Not that they need money, but they're producing a product that I think is quality. It locks in place. The handle locks in place, and you just pull it up. It holds real good at the handle. The plastic on the top is of good quality. Also, I will say that it has a quiet agitator in it. This is the agitator, and it actually unscrews. So if you don't want the agitator on there, it comes off. If you want the agitator on there, you just twist it on, and there it is, back on. And like I said, you just twist it on. If I could learn how to twist, but twist it on, and it works. Okay. It's stainless steel, and it keeps your protein shake cold for up to 30 hours. Now, I wasn't out and about with it for 30 hours, but it's stainless steel. And what I will tell you is, I tried it out this morning. And when I tried it out this morning, I put my protein shake with my almond milk in it. I shook it up. There was no lumps, not a lump in it at all, which is beautiful, because drinking protein shakes with lumps, not good, right? And then I didn't actually start drinking it until my workout was over, which is over an hour and a half later, it was an hour and a half later that my workout was over. But on top of that, the travel time over there, so it was about 2.5 to almost 3 hours that I did not actually drink it. But when I did start drinking it, it was as cold as the almond milk was out of my refrigerator. Now, if I wanted to put ice in it to make it a little bit more dramatic, I think it would be even colder than it would have been had I just simply used almond milk out of the fridge. But what I will say is that it does hold its temperature. It wasn't lukewarm. It didn't taste weird. I have to say, this is a good product, and I'm glad that I was willing to try it. This was when I saw this, it was on Shark Tank. The Gronkowskis came on Shark Tank to pitch their product, and I was very interested in it then. And I am proud to say that this is the best money that I spent on it. If I could just get a couple more of these, just to say that I have a couple more, I'll be thrilled. And Gronkowskis, if you see that I'm endorsing your product, it'd be great if you could send me one for free. That'd be even better. But If you don't, I spent my money on mines already. I'm good. But I would love to get a couple more just to say I have a couple more, because I have had just about every bottle, protein shake bottle that you can think of. And the blender bottles, I personally loved them when they were the first things out, but innovation is a real thing, and I am always big on innovation. I love being at the forefront of technology. And while this technology isn't exactly new, the combination of a quiet agitator and stainless steel with a strong quality product with insulation involved as well, because like I said, it does not get it, and it's 90 degrees out. So it was still as cold as it was coming out of the refrigerator. But the outside didn't feel like there was ice in it, if that makes sense. And if it was too cold, I got my handle. So this is probably the best shaker bottle that I've purchased. And I'm being straight up. This is the best shaker bottle I've probably purchased, period. And if the Gronkowskis can do their thing, continue to do their thing, I will tell them to their face that they have built they have designed a quality product. All right. Do me a favor, if you are in the show right now, go ahead and click like on the video, because when you like my video, more people become aware of it, and therefore they get to listen in on what we're talking about. And then if you have not, go ahead and do me a favor and click that subscribe button, because when you subscribe, you will get, and you click the all notifications, you will get every bit of information when I put it out there, whether it be a post, whether it be a short, whether it be a full-on video, or whether it be a live stream. You will be the ones to know about it. And I really want you guys to be in on this, because it is really important to me that you guys get a glimpse on the inside of what it takes to not only challenge yourselves physically, but to get to the other side. I take great pride in uplifting people in their endeavors to become better versions of themselves. Whatever that looks like, whatever that feels like, I'm all for it. So this is one of the reasons why I do this show every week, because I want you guys to not think that when you see somebody with a certain physique or a certain level of performance, that it is unattainable for you. I don't believe in that. I believe that hard work and dedication brings it to you, but I don't believe for 1 second that if somebody has some sort of speed or agility or quickness or strength, that you cannot yourself acquire that you cannot perform at a high level. Now, obviously there are levels to even that, but even if you are not the very best athlete on the planet, I do still want you guys to be athletic. It is important to me, because as you can see, your health and your longevity is highly important for a multitude of reasons, not just for the aesthetics, not for the, the looks and the gawks and whatever else comes with, having a really nice body, but to actually have the ability to get off the toilet, to actually move around pain-free, to actually, or be at least conditioned enough that your pain tolerance is so high that it is not affecting your everyday lifestyle. Because that is another aspect of it. You're cancer-free, you're disease-free. These are all things that are really important to me as a health professional and a personal trainer. I encourage you all to share this video with anyone and everyone you love, like, and trust. And if they are, like I said, and if they're in need of a shaker bottle for their protein, and like I said, this lasts 30 hours, so I could actually make this in the morning and leave the house, go work out, and leave where my workout is, and still have a cold protein shake in the weights for me. Ain't nothing like it. I can make myself a smoothie, and all I would have to do is shake it up, leave it in there, and I'm ready to go. And I know that that smoothie will be there waiting for me. These are the things that excite me about the industry of fitness, because anything that you can do to elevate your health, I'm for it. So like I said, if you need a smoothie, if you need some sort of nutritional help, I think this right here is a part of the equation for me, because now I can hold myself even more accountable, because now I have a shaker bottle that's virtually indestructible. I can drink it and it'll stay cold. And last but not least, I can have my protein shake officially when I get out of the gym and not have to go run over to Smoothie King or run over to some other smoothie shop to make me a high quality protein shake. I can do that in the morning and leave the house and not bat an eyelash. So shout out to them. Great product. Thank you. I see that nobody is actually in communication with me on any subject, whether it be the question of would you like to actually converse with me vocally on the phone, so that way you can actually have a candid conversation with me instead of having to clickety clack. Or do you think that's a good idea? Because if it is, just give me a 1 in the chat, or give me a confirmation in the chat that lets me know that you guys do think that that's a good idea or not. If you don't think it's a good idea, put a 2 in the chat, or just flat out tell me it's a stupid idea. All right. Being that I am on vacation, I am going to cut my show a little short tonight. Okay. So I'm going to land this plane. First and foremost, I'm happy to be back in the gym. I'm happy to be able to at least be in the growth process of getting my performance back up to a level of standard that I am accustomed to. Number 2, do not ego lift. Lift for endurance, lift for control, but do not ego lift, because when you do, or if you do, this is where you will find yourself on the receiving end of an injury that you do not want. Because I assure you, if you think that you're going to get there faster by going faster and going harder, I assure you, you're going to hit a brick wall, and you do not want to hit the brick wall, the proverbial brick wall. You want to take your time, build yourself up, and take the bull by the horns when it is time. But in the meantime, I appreciate you all for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and on YouTube. Have a nice day. Be the best you. Class is Stoutt.